Alright, this is my latest acquisition here. Thinking this is what the Cummins will go into. It's two-wheel drive. I brought it home Monday night. Guy said it run, but starter wasn't any good on it. So we put another starter on. We wouldn't get any fuel, so we're gonna take it off the trailer this way. What? Frozen? I don't think that drawbar pin will fit the fork hole. Truck's a diesel, 5-speed. I think they burnt this. You got the chain off? I think they burnt the starter up trying to start it. It's got issues with the return lines all leaking. And I'm not sure, they burn up the wire going to the injection pump, so. It's gonna take some doing to get it running. Clock says it has 130-some thousand miles on it. He said they had more than that. Time will tell. Alright, here we go. Truck's got brakes, so no big deal. It does get away from us. Alright, let me push it forward. We'll pull it back here next to the trailer. steer quite right on this. Alright, well, I figured since there's still daylight out, I can down back here and throw the jumper cables on the, well, this is an 88. I showed the video of unloading it. We just pulled it down back here. Actually, it's in pretty decent shape. Some Gomer bashed in the doors, but this little scuff mark here in the fender, but it was a really clean truck. Supposedly it was a farm truck and it spent a lot of time in the shed, but they ripped the mirror off this, and the reason they said they changed the bed on was it was a company truck at some point and they smashed this bedside or something, so they put another bed on it. But anyhow, I brought it down here. I brought the 86 down. I was gonna try to see if I can get it to crank here. Of course, I couldn't get it to crank with a key, so I hot wired the solenoid, and this is what I got. Of course, it lets the air out, but it also lets air in. So anyhow, I either got to do something with that housing. That's the, I don't know, that's the water and the fuel, or and I'm not sure what that sending unit is in the top there, but I don't know how to plug that. I may have another filter head around. I've got a couple of these motors, so anyhow, I'm not going to get it to run with that. I'm going to have to replace that. I don't have any glow plugs hooked up either, so she's bleeding to death. So let her sit. Thanks for watching. Alright, I'm down here working on this 88 Ford 1-ton dually. Last night we got it to crank. I got my filter head plugged up, and actually I took that out. There's a couple of electrodes in there. I think it was a water indicator where there's water in the filter. I don't know. Either way, it was leaking up through the electrode, and that hole was tapered, and it just happened to be the right size for a 1/2-inch pipe. So I tapped it 1/2-inch pipe up in from the inside. Of course, I took it all apart, but yeah, that's the inside end of a 1/2-inch pipe plug. And of course, I Loctited the heck out of that because I didn't want it to leak. But tonight I am looking for dead glow plugs, because the glow plug cycles right away once you turn it on, and it's pretty simple. Everybody complains, these engines, about how oh, they're so complicated and this and that, and they can't keep them running, they're a pain in the neck. Well, they're probably the most reliable engine Ford ever used, you know, diesel wise. Anyhow, anything new is really complicated. But I went through the glow plugs and I've got my test light. Let me see something. There's something on there. We go. That's a little better. I got my test light out and I got it hooked to the positive side of the battery so that when I ground the prod, it lights up. Well, I just go through, touch these glow plugs, and if they make continuity through the glow plug to the ground, they'll light up. And I got one back here that don't work. And I got one right here that don't work. And yeah, just a wrench fell out. I don't know, there's one right in there someplace. Yeah, that one works. Make sure you can get on the ground. Yeah, that one there don't work. So I got 3 of them. And they always told me you definitely want to use Motorcraft glow plugs, and it just so happens that I have a handful of them left. My red truck still takes them. I think the part number is ZD9 for a 7.3. And I converted that 6.9, put a 7.3 controller and 7.3 glow plugs in it. So let me get some of these out and I'll bring you back. Alright, just as I expected. I've got 3 of them. Got the old ones out. That one you can't see it very well. It's a little exploded on the end. I've seen them burn these tips off. That one's really exploded on the end. Yeah, that ain't too bad, but these are... Yeah, where's it at? Auto lights. So... I never heard anybody talk too highly of them anyhow. Anyhow, these are the original ones, and I think they're made by a company called B-R-E-U in Germany. Yeah. Germany, I don't know what they are. They're Motorcrafts. Oh. Yeah, we're going to put these in here. I went to an O'Reilly's once, bought these, and the kid behind the counter, of course, I don't know if he knew anything, but he says, be careful when you put them in. You can't touch that end. The oil from your hands will burn them out. And I thought for a minute, and I thought, no, I ain't going there. I thought to myself, man, these things go on a engine that burns oil, that sprays hot oil in there on top of them. So, a little oil in my hands ain't gonna last long. So, alright, let me get these back in here and I'll bring you back. Maybe we'll get her running here tonight. Alright, let's see what you'll do. Still cycling right away. Something wrong with that glow plug controller. Try it. We got smoke. Try it again. Alright, hold up. Oh! Let's figure out what's wrong with that glow plug controller, because it shouldn't be doing that with new. We got a glow plug light in there, or does it just say Alright, let's figure out what's wrong with the glow plugs. Or the controller. Alright, we found the problem. Well, it's still clicking. Got a glow plug right now? Try it. It's a little smoky. Something's still not right with that glow plug. What?
I hit the throttle, it quits cranking.
Well, the throttle cable goes right through there.
Is it knocking that?
Try it. You give it throttle, it quits cranking. That don't make no sense either. What the heck do we got screwed up? You in there? Keep clutching. Like butter. Well, that'll take care of the bugs. Take care of the steedies for March. Put the tools down. Well, it's cleared right up. We had an exhaust leak. I think the muffler's got a hole in it. See if it'll pull up. See if it'll pull up. Mud everywhere. Brake lights work. That's what he gave me for a starter. All right. Hood's on the first latch, so don't be hot rodding. It's quiet for a IDI. I never had one with a muffler on it.
These are stuck on. Clicked it off and it won't click off.
Easy.
The clutch is in.
Nice. I went into third.
Oh, he said that in second gear. He said synchros around second.
Vibrates a little bit.
That's a tire. That's a.
No, the radials with the recaps. Alright, turn around down here to the field driveway.
Got something wrong with brakes.
A little
The
rusty.
pedal is squishy.
Yeah, well, knowing the kind of mechanics these guys were. Huh? Alright, change gears. Let me drive. Alright. There it is. Purring like a kitten. I think the fuel filters are plugged up. It's got a top end of about 55 mile an hour. Starter solenoid don't work. I gotta jump it across the starter solenoid to get her to fire. And there's still something wrong with the glow plug controller, but I don't think any of that matters. This truck's really was pretty clean. The people that had this thing were kind of hillbillies, I think. We got this big dent in the door, and the doors for its age are in pretty good shape. There's a little bit of rust on the inside on the pinch weld, but crease there. There's some rust on the floor pans where the floor pan meets the cab mount, but I don't think it's much more than a little hole. I'll be surprised. This bed was replaced, and the bed itself's in pretty good shape. They said the bed was on it. Somebody dropped something on it. It's got a current Pennsylvania inspection, but you can't see it. The muffler, half the muffler, side of the muffler's blowed out, so I don't know how it would pass the Pennsylvania inspection with the muffler blowed out. I wanted to pull the muffler off and see if it sounded any better. I think the fuel filters are plugged. Cab lights work. Headlights work. Got a hell of a rake to it. The front end sits way low, but that's Ford's better idea of a twin high beam suspension. And they're usually sagged out and the dang wears the front tires off. But I think we're going to do something about that.